Drive, brought to you by Golf Pride.
A very good morning and welcome into the Morning Drive for what would of course have been Masters Week as we continue to celebrate. Anna Whiteley with you, but the rest of the Morning Drive team will be with me very shortly indeed. Now we know just how much you guys at home are pining for those iconic scenes of Augusta National Golf Club. So Golf Channel once again has got you covered today. We will be bringing you highlights from Billy Casper's 1970 Masters win, along with Seve Ballesteros' triumph at Augusta National in 1980. Then following an ESPN broadcast of Jack Nicklaus's legendary victory in 1986. Golf Channel will bring you the Golden Bears winning news conference as he reflects on one of the most remarkable Sundays in golf history. Earlier, our own Damon Hack caught up with Mr. Nicklaus and got a chance to ask him how the Masters being played in November will impact Rory McIlroy's pursuit of the career Grand Slam.
He seems to play better in the fall, too. As you know, he's won the Tour Championship a couple of times, played in Atlanta, very, very similar conditions. I think I think this scheduling will be to Rory's favor.
Bold predictions from the Golden Bear there, and you can catch the full interview across all of our Morning Drive social handles. But I'm very pleased to introduce the rest of the Morning Drive team: Damon Hack, Paige McKenzie, and Robert Dameron. And Robert, I'll start with you. Very hard to argue with Jack at the best of times, but do you agree with his sentiment that the Masters moving to November could in fact help Rory McIlroy?
I don't disagree with him, but Rory's just a proven winner. It just depends what season it is. He plays well at given times throughout the year, and he's played well at Augusta several times, just waiting for that last win. Where I kind of don't agree, though, that it will benefit Rory is he was the hottest player in the world, bar none, before we shut everything down. He had 7 consecutive worldwide top 10s. So, I mean, he was playing so well that this does kind of feel like that momentum was building to Augusta, and now Augusta's gone, or well, not gone, moved to November. And how's that going to affect his mindset? Is he going to say, oh, no, man, I was playing so well. I wish Augusta was now. Probably by the time we get to November, he'll have forgotten all that, and he'll just be teeing it up and hopefully playing well. But I do think that it's going to be, in my mind, it's going to be hard to see Rory without a green jacket at some point in his lifetime.
I agree with you, Robert, on all accounts. He had to be hoping and wishing that the Augusta and the Masters was being played in its correct time slot, given his current form and his performance moving into this early spring. So without a doubt, I think it would have benefited him to be playing in the spring. However, for all the reasons that Jack and you highlighted, I don't think November is a bad call. I actually think if you consider the emotional buildup and everything that goes into him being on the spotlight in that moment, in that week, it might be beneficial that it's in November. There's a variety of other sports going on. It's not going to be as big of a marquee in the sports scenery given everything that's gone on with all of the other sports. So I think in a lot of ways, maybe the microscope won't be quite as hot on Rory McIlroy come November.
Great point that you make there, Paige. Think about what he typically would face, the long wait from the end of the major championship season. It used to be the PGA, now the Open, that 8 to 9 month wait to try to win another major championship. That wait's not going to be as long. And then, of course, that part of the year typically, and it's not just on the PGA Tour. He's played very well on the European Tour in the fall, 3 times the winner of the Race to Dubai, the former Order of Merit, twice the winner of the DP World Tour Championship, and then you add the 5 playoff wins, the 2 wins of the Tour Championship, the 2 FedEx Cups. I do think a change of the calendar will do Rory McIlroy some good.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. We know Rory has got all the tools in his bag to claim that green jacket, but so much of golf is between the ears, and perhaps this could be the perfect shake-up that he needs. Okay, so Jack Nicklaus is predicting that the move to November will help Rory McIlroy when it comes to the Masters, but who do we think it could benefit? Paige McKenzie, who have you got your eye on?
Justin Rose, and this is a name that has been so successful at Augusta over the last decade. aside from a miscut last year, had a handful of top 10 finishes in recent starts. So he's always going to be a favorite. However, in the early part of the PGA Tour season, has not played well. Aside from a second place in the Singapore Open in January, he missed 3 of his last 4 cuts on the PGA Tour. So no doubt wasn't in his prime form kind of leading into the big championship season and into Augusta National. So likely he would benefit from the date change and a little bit of a break, maybe to regather himself for the rest of the season.
It's similar with what I'm going with to what you're saying, and I'm thinking that Brooks Koepka is getting helped by this new schedule, and it's not because of the month of November or the weather in Augusta or anything like that. It's just the fact that we see Brooks as the big game hunter, the guy that tees it up and plays to win in the biggest events, and he wasn't playing well. He was leading into this season of championships and was struggling quite a bit, not hitting it well. We were worried about his knee to a degree, which this rest also helps that. But he just wasn't playing good golf. And it doesn't matter how great you are at the biggest tournaments if you're not playing well. So now imagine he takes this time and next fall, as it comes up, he hits some kind of stride. All of a sudden, he's got 6 major championships in what feels like a condensed part of the calendar. He's going to be really, really dangerous. And I think he's probably home ready to go, chomping at the bit right now because, he's going to get his game back sooner than later. And he's probably ready to go now as we speak.
So you guys went with a couple of guys who aren't playing well or hadn't played well of late. I'm going with a guy who hadn't been playing at all of late, and that's Tiger Woods, who this break will benefit probably more than anyone in the game of golf, at least according to someone I spoke with who's close to the situation, said Tiger's body was not right before this break, which is why we didn't see him at Bay Hill, why we didn't see him at the Players' Championship. He needed his body to rest, his back specifically, to get loose and ready. This break will absolutely help Tiger Woods try to go back-to-back, something he's done at Augusta National before. Only he, Nick Faldo, and Jack Nicklaus have done so. Who has more institutional knowledge of Augusta National than Tiger Woods? Maybe Phil, maybe VJ, Fred Couples if he decides to play. Tiger Woods has seen every weather condition possible at Augusta. He was a part of the scene in 07 when Zach Johnson won, in 08 when Trevor won by 3. Tiger Woods playing Augusta National in the fall for his body and also for his mind. He's the ultimate, mental tough player, but he also has the institutional knowledge around Augusta that the other players simply can't match.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I think all 4 of us have gone for players who have their own individual struggles. And I'm picking a player who there's still a huge question mark over his name. And that is 2015 Masters champion Jordan Spieth. What we're seeing from him is just no reflection on the man that we saw teeing it up on Augusta National and giving us that dominant performance 5 years ago. Just the second youngest player to ever put on the green jacket, of course, following Tiger Woods. And it was just such an impressive moment, and the performance that he gave us for the rest of the year in the Masters was one of the best that we've ever seen. And looking at his last 5 starts, a missed cut, 3 finishes outside of the top 50, it's just not a time where I think Jordan wanted to be going into Augusta. So, hey, let's put it back for another 7-8 months, give himself a chance to press that reset button again and just try and hopefully find some momentum and go back to the Jordan that we all know and love because we know what he's capable of. So they are our predictions, but hey, let us know at home who you think the move to November for the Masters could benefit. And stay with us here on Morning Drive across all of our social handles. And don't miss another great day of celebrating the Masters on Golf Channel with more tips for your own game in Best Lessons Ever and special reflections on legends of the game, Billy Casper, Seve Ballesteros, and Jack Nicklaus.